Hello everyone, and welcome to the launch of the new Electric Vehicle and Green Technologies Training Centre at the City of Wolverhampton College. With all of the exciting electric announcements from major global car manufacturers like Jaguar Land Rover, Kia, Hyundai, to name a few, and not to mention, obviously, the huge investment in plant and equipment manufacturer JCB's new expanded fleet of electric machines, it's really exciting time now for electric vehicles. But as well as electric vehicles, the Green Technologies Training Centre is going to be delivering an impressive range of training and skills. And now we've got global partnerships we're going to hear about today with the training centre, but we've also got these supported by local stakeholders and the college, who I can tell you are fully charged for the launch today. And of course, all of you that are joining us on YouTube today, thank you very much. The wonders of online are connecting us not only to local people, but nationally and globally. So that's fantastic. So without a further ado, let's get this electric launch powered up by talking to Mal Cargill, who is the Principal CEO of City of Wolverhampton College. Mal, it's over to you to kick us off.
Thank you, Peter. Good morning and welcome to Wolverhampton, wherever you are in this COVID way of working. This has been a difficult year for the country, the region, and indeed our city. But I believe we're beginning to emerge into our new normal, and today's launch of this sector work-based academy programme is part of the college's march positively into the future. The college purpose, our mission if you will, is defining futures, which is even more relevant to today's COVID world. This project is a fantastic example of how we're looking to define the futures of our local residents, as we're at the forefront of developments in electric vehicles and green technologies. Today is also a great example of how partnership working can begin to address the economic recovery. Last year, the WMCA Mayor and the Council Leader opened our new plant training facility, which combined with rail has seen significant numbers of adults progressing into work or into higher skilled work, even during these COVID conditions. So I'd like to thank them both for agreeing to speak today and launch this exciting programme, and I look forward to welcoming them back, probably physically at some point, to celebrate its success. The college is committed to developing swaps across all sectors, and the work on plant and rail and electric vehicles is only the beginning of what we can do. So thank you to the WMCA and for Julie Nugent, our next speaker, for once again backing the college with the funding. Thank you also to Helen Dern from Job Centre Plus for agreeing to speak today, as a key element of our swaps is the referrals we will get from Job Centre Plus, DWP, and indeed locally through Wolves at Work. Thank you also to our delivery partners and to representatives from the IMI, the sector's awarding body. Thank you, Steve, and Lucas Newler, Daniel, a global force in electric vehicles. And thank you to Mike Dixon and the team here at the college for making this programme a reality, and indeed this programme event today. Finally, I'm really proud to be part of such a forward-thinking city. Only on Monday, I attended the webinar hosted by the Mayor and Council Leader, along with our local MPs, to celebrate the move from Whitehall of the Minister responsible for housing, communities and local government to Wolverhampton, a momentous decision for this country, and also a fantastic positive view for the City of Wolverhampton. The city motto is "Out of darkness cometh light," and we at the college are committed to being part of efforts to shine the light of education and skills through these troubled times and work to define the futures of the people of Wolverhampton. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mal. It's a great introduction, and I know we're going to hear about all of those different people today. And fundamentally, what we've got is a really good panel here that's talking about this launch. So without further ado, I'm going to go over to Julie Nugent, who is the Director of Productivity and Skills for the West Midlands Combined Authority. The new training centre is being funded by the devolved adult education budget for the West Midlands. Tell me about this and how this funding will make a real difference to the students using this facility, please.
Thanks. So we're delighted to be working with Wolverhampton College to bring this project forward, and we think this is exactly why it's important for regions to have devolved responsibility for their training budgets. This is about us making sure that we're investing in the right kind of skills provision to really support local residents and local businesses to get the skills they need to succeed. And in particular, we see how our economy is shifting, and recognising we need that much greater focus on the environmental impact of our choices. As you mentioned already, Peter, we're hearing lots in the news recently about major car manufacturers moving to fully electric. And that'll change the way that we make cars, but we also want to think about the businesses affected, those that service and repair the cars too. So this is a green revolution. We get that. We're excited by the potential that has to offer our local places and our economies, but we need to make sure that we're giving people the tools to support that. So for us as a combined authority, really important that we begin investing in the new green skills that businesses require. And to do that, we don't do it on our own. As Mal's already said, we're really supportive of working in partnership and particularly working with industry. So for us, it's fantastic to see how Wolverhampton College has been able to work with key employers in the sector, key, massive employers, getting that training right and making sure that employers are stepping forward, investing their time, their capital to have the training that they need now to support their businesses. So actually, we're really proud to be investing in this new electric vehicle training. We hope it's the start of a much longer term partnership and seeing more investment go this way. We want to give local people, local businesses, the new green skills that they need. I think it's also helpful for us and important to us as a combined authority that this is helping lots of different people. So we want young people to be supported as they move into the industry. We want to support unemployed people who are looking to get work in this growth sector. And we do see this as a sector that's growing. But also we're keen to reach out and help older workers too, people that may already be in the workplace, but who'll need to reskill to keep up with industry changes. So that's important for us as well. So we're delighted to be working with Mal and the team. We think it's a fantastic project. We hope it has lots of learning for the region as a whole and not just for Wolverhampton. So yeah, looking forward to hearing more today as well. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Julia. I think it's really important, and we'll find out later why it's important about the investment, the real investment that's going in and that support, because it is going to be a fantastic facility that's going to be state of the art and offering some amazing training for people. Now, the most important thing, that this is all about jobs, people. And this is why my next guest, Helen, is the Group Director for the West Midlands for the Department of Work and Pensions. Now, they're really responsible for Job Centre Plus operations in Wolverhampton and the wider Black Country district. So this is really important, people, because this centre is not, as we've already mentioned, just about young people. It's also about the development and pre-employment programmes for adults and upskilling individuals for not just jobs, but careers in this industry, in this sector. So without further ado, I'm just going to introduce Helen. Please tell us a little bit about your involvement and how people can get involved in this jobs and careers opportunity.
So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this launch today. I quite often come on Wolverhampton calls and say this is very special to me because I'm born and bred Wolverhampton, and I have had some relationships with Wolverhampton College in the past, and it's amazing to see the progress and the forward-thinking insight that Mal and the team have brought here that's going to create jobs and opportunities for the future. There's clearly a wonderful sense of excitement about what we can achieve here in our partnerships. And really, that's where I'd just like to start. I think West Midlands as a whole has some of the most amazing partnership arrangements in place. We're at the forefront of making sure that every key partner plays their part in delivering the regeneration of our communities. And, you know, I know many of the colleagues on this call today have been at the front and centre of that through the last year, which has been testing and trying, I think, for us all. Job centres in Wolverhampton and the wider Black Country are going to absolutely love this provision. It's going to bring something new, exciting and real long-term development and job security for people who take part in this provision. Job centres across the region are at the forefront of delivering the Plan for Jobs, a programme that central government is funding at the moment. And, you know, I know that many of my work coaches will be ready and waiting to refer from their caseloads customers who have a real interest in moving into this sector or retraining to be part of this sector. Where our relationships work best and where our provision works best is where those partnerships are strong. And sector-based work academies are at the heart of that plan for jobs. Just one of the ways that job centres across the region are matching our customers to new training and new provision to move them into the workforce. But the most important bit for me, this is about trying to help the local communities around Wolverhampton and the wider Black Country getting to a skills base that gives them a job option for the long term. It's truly an amazing opportunity, and the key skills that it's going to bring to our workforce will be amazing. I can't wait to hear about some of the good news stories that come out of this opportunity, being able to talk to young people, unemployed people, older generation, whoever feels that this is the future career for them. We need to make sure that they get matched to this provision as quickly as possible and we get them through with Miles people. So I'm so grateful to have been invited to come today. And if anybody on the call wants to know more about sector-based work academies or how they can become part of this provision, then speak to your work coach. Thank you very much, Peter.
Helen, thank you so much. You know, it is really exciting for the local community, but it's also exciting because we're going to find out later on about how this is going to give people the skills for global opportunities. So that's really, really exciting as well. But now we're going to move on to the councillor, Ian Brookfield, who's the leader of the City of Wolverhampton Council. And Ian, I last saw you at another fantastic training centre launch at Wolverhampton College, because that was the Plant and Civils Training Centre. And this is another big investment. Lots of people, lots of unemployed people in the region going to be able to get advantage of this as well. But we've got Wolves at Work, which is relatively new for me, that's supporting this whole investment. Tell me about why this is so important for the city and why you're supporting it.
Well, firstly, thanks, Pete. It's always lovely to hear your dulcet tones. It really wakes you up first thing in the morning. Yes, it's people start to talk about us. We only ever meet when we're opening up new things. But isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't that great within that opportunity? Now, people of the city and wider will long know the history of Wolverhampton with its automotive industry. You know, we always talk about JLR, but we've had small and medium-sized enterprises going back generations supplying that industry. I believe we're seeing a Tesla a bit later on, and I was just doing some look just to show you the history of electric cars in the city. I'm going to show you something now from 1897, which is, now listen, I can't share screens like some of these younger people, so you'll have to see the actual picture. That was built in Wolverhampton in 1897 by the Star Motor Car Company. It used to be a cycle company. You might have seen two. There's only two obvious problems why it never caught on. It had solid rubber wheels, and you stayed it by using reins. So I think that was probably the reason why that particular car. But it shows you the innovation and the dedication of the people of the city to be able to lead new challenges. You know, and it's absolutely, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of our City of Wolverhampton College and the work they're doing. They've got so many different learning sectors now. We spoke about one previously. And it enhances what we can offer in the city. It really does, and that's why, you know, I'll be absolutely truthful with you. We're pushing for the college to be leading the front. You know, not just backfilling, not just levelling the playing field. I want the college, and I'm sure Mal and all his team and the students that go there to be leading. And in this type of technology, we certainly will be in the country. I know there's one or two people on the call, so I'll take the opportunity. The City Learning Quarter is something that we're also pushing. I think it'll be another string in the bow and take us one step further. But coming back to electric vehicles, it's fantastic that this innovative training centre, you know, for the 21st century vehicles is going to be in our city. You know, we've got a vibrant education hub in our city. You know, we want to improve people's chances. We want to improve their learning. We want to improve partnerships and certainly employment. And we just spoke to Helena and Julie. You know, we will work collaboratively to do everything we can to get you in place. Yeah, you know, so you've got DWP, you've got the CA, you've got Wolves at Work. And Wolves at Work, Peter says, it's a fantastic local enterprise. It's got over 6,000 people into jobs, real jobs, good jobs, and this what is emanating from this training centre will be another string in that bow. So I'm really pleased to be here today. It's a fantastic opportunity. I, like you, can't wait until we're actually able to go down and see with it. Perhaps it's a bit late to upskill me in some of these new technologies, but you never know. You never know. But you know, if I think Andy said it before, and he'll be joining now the mayor. You know, if you can draw it, we can make it in the West Midlands. You know, we led the Industrial Revolution, and we need this opportunity to lead the next green revolution. So I'm more than happy to be here, Pete. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ian Brookfield. Now, Councillor Ian Brookfield did mention 1897, but we're moving forward very, very rapidly from that point. And I think the way, Councillor, you can support it, and I'm going to put this out there, is go electric yourself. So let's see in the future getting some electric vehicles that can chauffeur you around into the region, because that will be supporting the people that then can look after them that we're going to be training. So that's really great. Thanks very much for that insight, and also taking us back to some heritage, because that's really important. We've got that skills base through a generation. But now this is all about redeveloping and redefining the future of the region, building back better, and in this case, electrifying growth potential. And that's why I'm joined now by Andy Street, the Mayor of the West Midlands, who's certainly been electrifying all the investment coming into the sector. And Andy, this is very, very big. You are supporting it. You're continuing to support the City of Wolverhampton College and the region, and empowering ahead, aren't you? Tell us why this is so important.
Peter, you're too kind there. I thought you were going to make a link between me and 1897, so I escaped there, frankly, with something more generous from you. Anyway, it is brilliant to be here this morning and to join what is actually a unique launch, and be able to say a huge congratulations to all the people who've sort of pulled this together. Because as Ian has just said, I genuinely think that the City of Wolverhampton College is ahead of the curve, ahead of all of its competitors in doing this. And I know lots of people on the call will take enormous pride in that. As you said in your intro, though, Peter, I've said so much over the last couple of years that the future of our automotive industry, which we're so proud of historically, is of an electric industry going forward. And we're seeing every day the different announcements. And you know what? It's not necessarily all easy. If you think of Jaguar Land Rover's announcement just last Monday, think of the scale of investment. They said they've got to put aside $2.5 billion every year to make the journey to electric. And we heard the tough story this morning from Vauxhall, Ellesmere Port. Can they afford to electrify that plant? So this is a really difficult journey for lots of people, but I am very confident that the West Midlands is brilliantly positioned in this. And actually, the announcement we made last week on behalf of all areas of the West Midlands of that new gigafactory site in Coventry, so exciting. That was us throwing our gauntlet down to manufacturers around the world to say, come here, make your new batteries here. And definitely, by the way, throwing the gauntlet down to the government to say, you're going to have to support the West Midlands in subsidising this. It's just so important to our futures, that big picture. But if you come back to what today's all about, I'm so excited to see it, because we talked back in, I think it was October, about these sector-based work academies. And Julie's been working with lots of colleges across the region on making this happen. And we've got different offers in different places. But this one, I think, is genuinely the most exciting. And the whole idea is that they unite business, colleges, and of course the DWP in the sectors where the growth is coming. And if there's any sort of bullseye in this, this is the sector that's really going to grow. One stat that jumped out of me from the briefing note, that only 3% of mechanics can so far at the moment can attend to an electric vehicle. So I guess the message to the 720 people who are going to come through this facility is you will be in a brilliant position in the labour market, because it's a growing market and there's few people there. So it's a great opportunity. So it was lovely to hear Helen say that she was sure that those work coaches would very soon be offering this to the unemployed people of the Black Country and a little wider. So what can you not love about that, frankly? It's a brilliant initiative, and I do congratulate everyone, and I'm looking forward to hearing what some of the tutors and the students are going to say, and then from indeed the industrial partners who've made it possible. So all power to you. Well done. Brilliant initiative to be part of. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Andy. And without further ado, let's go live to the workshop, the training facility that is going to make that big difference to skills, jobs and the economy in the region.
We're actually launching 4 programmes today, which will allow us to address skills gaps across the whole industry. We've got 4 levels, and we expect people to join from the very early part and can progress from level 1 to level 2. Those people are looking to enter the market and the jobs market that we've said is so important here in the region. And we've also got programmes at level 3 and level 4 where we can upskill and reskill those technicians already in the market which just don't possess the skills to allow us to move forward with the whole electrical revolution. These are truly unique programmes. They're the only one of their kind in the UK, and they're being launched right here. A key element of each of these programmes is that we have an IMI qualification, and IMI effectively look after all of the qualifications in the sector and are leading the way, not here just in the UK, but also in Europe, to give people the safe skills to work on these vehicles. So I think it's a really important point to mention that we're not just talking about skills which are useful to have, they are potentially life-saving skills with the technology that's fitted into these new vehicles. So, as I said, we've created 4 special programmes. They are unique for this project, the SWAT project, and we hope that we'll be able to move those people through at least 2 levels. So from wherever they start, wherever they come to from the industry, they'll come into this project and they will be able to move at least 2 levels from their education forward, which will make them, again, very desirable people in the industry, give them all of the opportunities that hopefully they'll take with local employers. And again, it'll give confidence to other investment to come into the region. And I think that's the most popular and key area that we're trying to address today. This technology has arrived, it's more than emerged, Every vehicle that we see advertised now is an electric vehicle or a battery electric vehicle. So these technologies, the green technologies, and automotive leads the way as in many ways. So, you know, we are really excited to be part of this programme, and I commend it to everybody. And the first 700 people, you know, are very fortunate to be able to join this programme. And we're going to speak to a couple of the students now who are also looking forward to taking part in the programme.
What really we're focusing on is 750 opportunities there, and the opportunities are already being grabbed because the students that I've got in front of us now, Jordan and Chloe, are two young people that are absolutely going to be taking on the electric challenge of the future. And Jordan, I'm going to start with you. Do you feel, as an automotive student at the City of Wolverhampton College, you get the opportunity to develop the skills that you need now and obviously in this electric future?
It's a great opportunity because obviously the car industry is moving forwards with electric. So with the skills that we can apply from learning here with the qualified tutors, it's a good skill and will help with young people in the future and the jobs.
I know, speaking to Jordan earlier, when I was talking to him, he's absolutely stoked about the opportunities for electrification in his role. And obviously that's come through quite quickly because things changed from a mechanical sense to an electric sense really in the last few years. And of course, now it's an opportunity as well for people like Chloe to actually come into the motor vehicle, as we said, on top of your head, sector there of electrification. Chloe, do you feel at the college that you are guided towards a career as part of a training you receive? So do you feel that you're getting vocational training that's actually going to get you a job? And why is that important?
It is very important because obviously because of the tutors here, they have ample experience with past jobs and the equipment that they use, and they bring it and teach us further on their past experience, but also their knowledge that they know themselves, which will help us guide us into the near future of what we need to know to be able to be like them, or maybe even better than them, because they want to benefit us in what they know.
When we spoke earlier, it was really about all of those opportunities that you see in front of yourself, not just for, you know, the next few years, but this whole career, isn't it? And nod your head if you agree. Fantastic. And thanks very much, guys. When you go on to the college website, we are going to put on information about the journey that these two young people are taking. Get back to the training. Get back in that car, actually, and drive off. It's a superb Tesla, and you might want to drive it round to Ian, the councillor, to see what cars he should be having in the future to be driving around the city in. I mentioned at the start of this whole process that actually it's about qualifications. It's about having jobs that actually can stretch not just into the local and regional economies that we're hearing about the investment, but it's also about having the qualifications that are supported globally. And that's why I'm so excited to be joined by Steve Schofield, who's the head of business development for the Institute of the Motor Industry. And they're the qualification body that's supporting this new facility. So fundamentally, we are backing the City of Wolverhampton's training by internationally recognised institution. So please, Steve, explain to me the huge importance of that, what you've been doing to support this launch, but also what you've been doing to support the importance of investment in this area with the government.
Thanks, Peter. That's great. Great introduction. First off, let's just say congratulations to everyone, Mal and the team, the government stakeholders that have helped this happen, because it's so important. So IMI have been horizon scanning for 100 years. So we did recognise that early vehicle that we saw. But we're really horizon scanning, and we're in our third generation of electric vehicle qualifications. And that's so important. So we've been working with government, and as all of you will be aware, the ambition to ban petrol and diesel only vehicles by 2030, and then to ban hybrids beyond that at 2035. It just shows the pace that policy and vehicle manufacturers are going to move at. So it's really important for Wolverhampton to actually support local businesses, support local people in their careers. So we really absolutely think this is on the money and a really important initiative. Just to put that into perspective, our Chief Exec has been lobbying government along with our President, Jim Saker, and they've been lobbying government specifically on what Andy Street pulled out earlier as a figure. We have got lots of technicians already that are working in the sector that need upskilling. So the Wolverhampton solution will be really important for them. But more importantly, the sector's going to need the talent of the future. And that's why we're delighted to be involved, because that young talent coming through, whether it's new job seekers or whether it's youngsters coming out of school, it's really important that they get on that career journey. And that's why we're delighted to be involved. Our qualifications, I know you couldn't hear Andy speak properly about them in the workshop, which was unfortunate, but level 2, 3 and 4 will give career opportunities over time. And those qualifications are in the 3rd generation of development. So they're at the front end of technology. And we work with over 70 international and national organisations to make sure that we keep them up to date. So today we're talking about, job opportunities, talent being of value to local employers or even national employers. So I think the initiative is fantastic. The qualifications are world renowned. IMI working with the qualifications that will be used in this initiative in countries such as China, South Africa, Mexico. So these are internationally recognised. They might be on the UK government frameworks, but these are credible, up-to-date qualifications that really set the foundations for people to find a great career in the automotive sector. So delighted with that. In addition to the qualifications, as they move through their career, IMI have been working with government on the TechSafe initiative. So this is recognition on our professional register that these people will achieve as they move through the different levels to becoming really recognised, not just by local employers, but nationally by national employers. We spoke earlier about JLR and all of those great products that we produce in the UK. So I'm delighted to say that we have true career opportunities, but most importantly, we're going to be generating work-ready people that employers value, and it will help the employers at a local level be sustainable, because this car park is changing rapidly. And for sustainable business, in the local area, in the city, this is absolutely critical. So we're delighted to be involved. This is the start of a journey of partnership for us. Today, we're talking about electric vehicle, and I'm sure the college will be talking about autonomous vehicles and all the things that we're horizon scanning today and developing qualifications and solutions for. So really commend Mal and the team for the great work they've done.
Thanks very much indeed. One of the biggest things about learning, and this is what we're going to find out now, is actually having the right tools for learning. And the tools for learning that we all need to recognise are the very best in the world. And so we're going over now to look at the exciting real investment that's going to be made by the City of Wolverhampton College in the latest equipment to train people from the Lucas Newell Academy. So there's a couple of videos there. We're going straight over to Germany, where this academy is leading the way, and we're going to be the City of Wolverhampton College leading the way in the UK.
Global conditions are changing rapidly. Technologies are developing even further. In order to keep up with these structural changes, we need a well-trained workforce. How can we ensure that students receive even more skills in their training? With new, innovative teaching methods, a smart blend of theory and practice.
Hello, my name is Daniel Brown. I'm the manager of the Llr Academy here at Lucas Cllr in Cologne, Germany. I would like to congratulate the West Midlands Combined Authority, the Mayor of the West Midlands, Mr. Andy Street, and the City of Wolverhampton College on this great project. It's fantastic for us to be involved in a project that's going to benefit young people and, in fact, the whole automotive sector across the West Midlands region in such a positive way. The training systems that you see here, these are our car train systems. We have one here on hybrid electric vehicles, plus also high voltage batteries, what you find, of course, in electric vehicles. These car train systems are being used by customers around the world, such as Porsche here in Germany, McLaren in the UK, and even Tesla in the US. So they're being used at colleges, manufacturers, and high schools literally all around the world. They're also the only systems that are being used for world skills testing. So obviously on high voltage, it's the first and only system that does that. And we're very proud to be at the World Skills International in Kazan, Russia, 2019. And also now we're at World Skills Germany, World Skills France, Euroskills, Skills USA, and from this year on also at World Skills UK. The systems and the e-learning that comes as a part of a package of these systems are fully aligned to the IMI qualifications, something that we're very proud of to be partnering with the IMI. And the systems here are really about building a culture of safety for the students that will be using them, so that they get to use the real tools that they'll see in industry, do the real procedures, using the safety equipment so that they're really prepared for industry and prepared also for the challenges that electrification are going to bring. So once again, thanks very much for involving us in this project. We're really looking forward to a long-term partnership, especially on this project that's going to bring such positive change to the region.
What is really important about this is internationally recognized, and it's also from a perspective of the development of the equipment, that this is the cutting edge stuff that we're dealing with here. And so thanks very much for the Lucas Newell Academy. That was Daniel Brown, the manager of the Lucas Newell Academy. And now I want to go back over, please, because really what we've got is a situation now with all of this. Andy Street's been listening in the background. Andy, look, this is a huge, substantial investment in people, in facilities, in training, in the future. You know, please just do the honor of virtually cutting the ribbon, and some final thoughts from you about how exciting this really is.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. I think we'll do a collective cutting of the ribbon, actually. I think we'll all join hands metaphorically. We'll do it like that. When I say we'll all do the collective cutting, we don't. Oh, Ian's come ready with his scissors. He's one stage ahead of me. Okay, I'm going to use the virtual ones. Anyway, I think there's just one thing to be said, Peter, actually, because it's obviously everyone has spoken brilliantly, and great to hear Steve's talk about the horizon scanning and pinpointing Wolverhampton. But we should definitely thank Mal for having the vision to do this with everybody. But I think the last thing I wanted to say, what I saw was the two young trainees, Jordan and Chloe, looking incredibly proud about what they're going to do. And that's what I saw, incredible pride. And I'm sure they'll be the sort of trailblazers for others who are following. So thanks to everyone who's come together. I'm delighted that, as Julie said right at the beginning, the WMCA has been able to fund this from the sector-based work academies alongside all our partners. It's the right thing to do. And so I think we should, with no more ado, get to do the virtual cutting, actually. So Ian's got a proper pair of scissors. The rest of us, on the count of 3, we'll do our virtual cut. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
That's brilliant.
All done. Lovely. Thank you all very much. And Peter, well done you. Not the easiest one to host, but you did it great. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Andy. You know, I'd just like to take this moment to thank all the guests for joining me today. Thank you, the listeners and the watchers and the viewers. And it's a really exciting moment if you are in the region of Wolverhampton, if you can get to the City of Wolverhampton College, because you've got a real opportunity to invest in your future, the individuals and businesses, because don't forget, when we've got trained individuals, we will have the opportunity for businesses locally and regionally to benefit from that as well. So to find out more and register your interest in the Electric Vehicle and Green Technologies Training Centre, please do visit the link at the end of this presentation. And don't forget, folks, the reason why we're doing this online is not because we have to, it's because we want it to be shared with everybody out there. And this is why you can share the link that you're looking at YouTube with other people to make sure they don't miss out on the opportunity to supercharge their future. And don't forget, of course, the courses will start in a COVID-safe environment from the beginning of April. So thank you, everybody, for listening. We will get all that information on that website, and you'll be able to see it right now. And goodbye from me, and a goodbye from everybody else.